Hello everyone, ThunderEgg here. So in today's video I have up to 23, if I count it correctly, 23 potentially playable characters. Now out of these 23, there's basically 2 or 3 that's unconfirmed playable yet. The rest are pretty much the entire collection of all potentially playable characters in Genshin until basically 4. Basically these are the latest info on what characters are going to be playable. As for when they're going to be playable, they can range anywhere from 3.0 to 4.0 or even later. Now, of course, with that said, this is a huge spoiler warning. If you do not want any of these spoiled, please do not watch this video. And also, if you want to watch only like specific characters in this video, do make sure to use the timestamp in the video below. So I've listed all the timestamps there. So with that said, I've divided these characters basically into 3 groups. The first one is characters that are confirmed to be playable. The second group is characters that are confirmed to be playable, but we only have the news that they're confirmed to be playable, nothing else. And the third group is characters that we have some news regarding how they are, how they look and things like that, but we have no, basically no news of what they're even called even, so we have no names. So of course, with that said, let's get started. So starting with Baizhu. Baizhu, the latest news regarding him is that Changshen, the snake, he has on his neck, her lore is going to be revealed partially in Sumeru, and however, there's no news regarding his playable, when he's going to be playable, but this is unconfirmed. One source did say that he will be raid up during the next lantern ride. So basically when the traveler comes back from Sumeru back to Liyue, so if I'm correct, around 3.3, 3.4, I forgot the exact date, but around those 2 patches, it's going to be lantern ride and he will have his raid up around them. Moving on to Collei. Now, for any of you that did not read the manga, this is a picture of Collei. She's going to look very different as an in-game character, but this is a picture of her from the manga. Collei is a Dendro 4-star bow user, and is going to have the team female model. She's going to have her rate up in 3.0. This is confirmed by multiple sources. Again, she's going to look quite different from her look in manga, so she is still going to keep her hair, but it's going to be longer now, so darker hair color, but has grown past her shoulder. She sort of kept the cape as well. Her overall color scheme is going to be similar to this one, but she's sort of a little bit more open. Skin tone is also the same. The overall color scheme is still black as the major one, with secondary color as a combination between gold, yellow, and orange. And also she still wears like the green shawl over, and also has a short black dress. And finally, she basically has the yoimiya design of uneven socks, and also has short black heels. So she is going to playability wise, her kit wise, she's gonna have a companion like Baron Bunny or Guoba. I'm not sure if that companion is alive yet, because Baron Bunny is technically not alive. And also one of her skills is throwing a huge boomerang, but that's all we have regarding her so far. Moving on to Cyno. Cyno is going to be a 5-star Electro polearm user, and he's going to be the team male model. Just want to note one quick thing. A few leaks used to say that Cyno is the, I think, Pyro or Hydro element. One even went as far as saying he's a Geo element. All of those are pretty much debunked at this point. Cyno is pretty much confirmed to be Electro. As for the sort of visions thing, the Pyro visions thing, you can see on his waist during the official Genshin timeline trailer. That is actually one of the gems he's carrying on his belt. It's not his vision. And Cyno is going to be playable in 3.1. This is confirmed by multiple sources, and basically his official look is here, so that's not going to change. Moving on to Dori. Dori is an upcoming Electro 4-star Claymore user, and she is going to be of the female children model. She is going to have her rate up in 3.0, same patch as Collei. That is again confirmed by multiple sources. She has a healing in her kit, also we don't know how much, but she can also do off-field damage. Appearance wise, she is going to have light pink hair with a giant pale blue gem in her hair. In her hat, and also she is going to have overall color scheme is going to be purple as the main one, with secondary color white and tertiary color pink. She is going to appear more like a cryo character than an Electro character. Lore wise, she is more a hungry scammer, and she might be working for Atlas, some of the speculations say. sorry, update, she's not exactly working for Alice, although she and Alice, Klee's mother, might have some connections in terms of activities that both benefit both of them financially. Moving on to Dottore, the latest news regarding him is Dottore is going to become playable, and unlike how they basically washed entire Baal's problem to be clean by having the shogun being sort of the bad one and Baal was sort of unaware of what the shogun was doing, Dottore is not going to have any of that, so he's basically going to be the psychopath he still is, and he's going to be playable as that, which a lot of players I think have said that they're not very happy with that, but he is just going to be playable like that. He will be playable at some point, and the other interesting to see, I don't want to spoil too much of his lore, but he is basically the one who has experimented on Fatui Harbingers. He's tried to experiment on other Fatuis. Even Fatui Harbingers do not want to work with him. He is basically the one who created Delusion, and is most likely the one that turned Scaramouche into what he is today, because after Scaramouche was found by Fatui Harbingers, nobody knew what they did. The only description we got was Dottore was able to unlock Scaramouche's full potential by breaking the sort of seal Baal put in place to sort of keep Scaramouche's power level under control, so he was able to break that. As for whether he did modifications with how Scaramouche's characteristics and things like, we have no idea. So yeah, and the final thing is Dottore lore-wise does not have a vision, so it's going to be interesting to see what type of device he will be drawing elemental powers from. So as we know, the 3 Archons are able to draw an elemental power without a Gnosis or vision. The rest of the characters all have to use a vision, with the exception of Alloy. Of course, there's no lore regarding Alloy's usage, and of course Traveler is able to use whatever the Traveler is using to extract elemental energy. It's going to be interesting to see what Dottore uses, because if it turns out Dottore is using a Delusion, it could very well mean that future characters who are not Vision wielders but Delusion wielders could become playable. Next, moving on to lesser known Kusanali, or the Dendro Archon, or she goes by another name of Nahida. And as we're stepping into the Sumeru territory for some of the names, I'm going to not try to butcher. So I'll just display the name up there, but the shorter ones I feel okay pronouncing, I'll try to pronounce. So Kusanali is going to be a 5-star Dendro Callus user, of course, Dendro. She is going to have sort of a new model that's halfway between child model and teen model, so she's going to be a bit taller than a kid, but smaller than a teen female model. Her rate up time is going to be 3.2, that's confirmed by multiple sources. Appearance-wise, she is going to resemble Sarissa Apocalypse from Honkai 3, but only the facial expressions, like only the facial part. Her hair-wise, it's going to be white with sprinkles of gray. She looks like she is going to be an extreme introvert. As for exactly if she's as introverted as Baal, we'll have to see. She carries a small staff around her, and on her left side of her head, there's 3 flowers as decorations. That's pretty much all we got so far regarding her appearance. Moving on to Nilou. Nilou is going to be a 5-star Hydrocalus user, female team model. Unknown release time yet, although one source did say her release time is going to be around Cyno's banner time, and Cyno's banner time is basically confirmed 3.1 by multiple sources, so her rate up time should be between 3.0 to 3.2. Her skin color is going to be pale, and she's going to have red hair. I think it's bright red instead of just like a redhead. It's going to be bright red hair with horns similar to Aztah's in terms of shape, but of course they are much smaller, and it's also going to have a different color. Overall clothing style, think of a dancer from Middle East, so more like a belly dancer's clothing style. As for kit wise, we basically know not much about her kit other than 2 pieces of information. The first one is that she is going to have little to no healing in her kit, so that means she's going to either have very minor healing or no healing in her kit. And the second one is her major reaction she's going to be focusing on capitalizing is the Dendrohydral Overgrown reaction. Moving on to Scaramouche. The first one regarding Scaramouche is that Scaramouche will be using the name Wanderer instead of Scaramouche as a playable character. The second piece of information, of course, 5-star Electro Callus user has to be Electro, because baal is Electro. And of course, he is of the male model, and I think it looks like he's of the team model, but that last part is personal speculation. As for release time, there are 3 sources. One claims to be 3.2, the other one claims to be 3.1 or 3.2, and the final source is most detailed. It says the banner will arrive after the Genshin anniversary, which should be around 3.1 and 3.2. And it also said that the banner will arrive around the end of Sumeru. Given that Inazuma's questline status was 3.0 was opening of quest, 3.1 was also proceeding of quest, the questline didn't really finish until sort of 3.1, so my guess is that Sumeru Scaramouche's rate up time is going to be closer to 3.2. And also one piece of information regarding his as a playable character, he will be a main DPS using transformative reactions for main source of damage. As for his weekly boss rumors, that is also sort of confirmed. He is going to be unconfirmed regarding the weekly boss part, but he is going to have a boss battle in 3.2, and he's going to have his banner around the same time, so sort of like what Chao's doing. And finally, of course, as I've already said, he will have the name Wanderer instead of Scaramouche, and he will be sort of redesigned when he becomes playable. He'll get to keep his cat, but his veil he'll not be using his veil as a playable character. And of course, the rest is personal speculation regarding him, but a very good way to make him playable is basically blame everything on Dottore, saying that sort of when Dottore was unlocking his full potential from a puppet into like a full Fatu Harbinger, he sort of also adding some stuff to sort of turn him evil or sort of turn him into the state he is. So after he got defeated, that was sort of taken out, and he's back to normal now, and he's becoming a playable character. So it's very easy for make him playable in terms of washing away all the bad stuff he's done. The next is the character that is basically Su from Honkai. His Genshin name is Alhaitham. Sorry, I'm going to butcher this one. And one source did say his name is Habibi, but it's just a single source that says that. So his name is pretty much confirmed to be the name I said before. So Alhaitham with basically we don't know if he has any other names. So he is going to be an adult male model, and we have no idea regarding his star level, his weapon, and his vision. So as I've said, he is Su from Honkai, but the redesign is kinda thorough. His name is meaning the young eagle or the young hawk, so could indicate he is someone important from Sumeru. And of course, he could be a sword user that is mentioned. As for appearance wise, there's quite a bit of details. First, he has a lot of like peacock green elements and gold patterns as his main color scheme. He has a Dendro gemstone embedded in around the collarbone. That is also inside gold jewelry that's used to sort of like seal his cloak, tie his cloak together. Lots of black, gold, and teal/green in his design. Hair is turning from gray to white, sort of as a gradient downwards, and he has a tight, high-collared black shirt. Some rumors say you might even be able to see his muscles. And overall has a dark blue belt, and very importantly, he has orange eyeliners, which personal speculation might be Geo, because if you look at Geo characters, more than 75% of them has eyeliners. Seems like zhongli like people that have eyeliners, but the last bit is a joke, but he does have orange eyeliners, that part is confirmed. Finally, moving on to a character that will actually come in 3.0. Tighnari, who is going to be coming very likely in 3.0, although not confirmed. He is going to be a 5-star Dendro bow user. It's going to be a male model, and most likely a team model, although that last part regarding model size could be wrong. So playstyle wise, he is going to be sort of like the Dendro Ganyu, but instead of using charge attack as the main source of damage, so instead of having the bloom for his second level charge attack, his second level charge attack will fire extra arrows that will track after the first. So after his original arrow hits, the additional arrows, I don't know if it's one or more, but the additional arrows will auto track the enemy after the first one hits. As for his rest of his kit, E and Q focuses on doing damage or enhancing the damage of his second stage charge shots. Appearance wise, he has a long fluffy hairs and a long fluffy tail, a pale or peach or tan skin tone, long shorts with lace boots, and long shoulder cape colored with bright green gradients, and overall dark short straight hair with 2 lime stripes in his bands. Lore wise, he is supposedly an expert botanist, although that part is again not confirmed. Moving on to, of course, the guaranteed character to be revealed in 3.0, the Dendro Traveler. So the only piece regarding Dendro Traveler is so far is that, don't know if it's E or Q, but one of his skills will be able to spawn objects that gets buffed when you fuse with any of the other 3 elements Dendro can react with. If it's Hydro, it will increase the range of the object, that is basically the object he summons, it's going to be able to attack. Electro, it will increase the speed of the object that is attacking, and if it's Pyro, the object just explodes, I assume dealing large AoE damage meanwhile. Second last character that is confirmed to be playable with information, of course, other than their name. Varka is going to have a bit more of his lore coming soon. Also, there's no news regarding when he's going to be playable, but I put him under the playable character because he's very likely going to end up playable at some point in the future. As for Yaoyao, Yaoyao's release will be after 3.0, of course, but there's no exact release date yet. Also, the same source that claimed to have Baizhu raid up during Lantern Raid also did state that Yaoyao will be raiding up alongside Baizhu during Lantern Raid. So that's the only source information regarding when Yaoyao's raid up will be. And of course, finally, originally Yaoyao was a Callus user, but most likely have changed at this point. Some sources speculate she's going to be a polearm user because her lore suggests that she is the younger student of Master Ping, basically the junior student to Shanling. So it is very likely that since Madame Ping and Shanling both is used as a polearm, so it's very likely that Yaoyao will also specialize in polearm. Also, it's going to be very interesting to see a kid trying to carry a polearm, but they will adjust the model accordingly for that, of course. Now, finally, there is going to be 5 characters. I'm not even going to list their name here, call their name, because it's going to be very hard to pronounce any of them. But all of these 5 are going to be playable. As for the first one is going to be very likely the next Fatui Harbinger to appear, and the second one is a male a male character, and that's all we know about them. The rest 3. So of 5 of these, all we know is that they are playable in the future. As for exactly when, we have no idea. Finally, moving on to 5 characters that we have no names but are confirmed to be playable. So starting with the first one is we have one 5-star cryo DPS coming in 3.0. That's only one piece of information we have. The second one is there's going to be an Electro female child being playable, most likely in 3.0. This could very well be Dori because all descriptions match Dori from earlier. However, the only piece of information we have regarding this so-called Electro female child is that she is actually cryo colored instead of the typical, purple as main sort of color. The third character is going to be a Hydro tall female, so most likely Hydro female adult model. She is not Nilou and she is not Nafs. That part is confirmed. And her appearance wise, she's going to have heavy Egyptian design. Probably the closest reference that is closest to her design is actually going to be the classic Cleopatra design. So she's going to be dark skinned. So far the only confirmed dark skinned character in Genshin. Her hair is going to be navy blue with twin tails, and that's going to reach past her chest. General color scheme is purple and gold with mostly gold accessories and purple clothing. Clothes again, like Nilou, is going to be similar to the belly dancer style with tummy and legs exposed. Second last character, there's going to be one character confirmed upcoming to be playable that is going to have ear close to Klee, so sort of like elf-like ears, but it is not Tighnari. That part is confirmed. And finally, there's going to be a Pyro tall lady playable, and her skin tone is going to be peach/tan, and she's going to have cat ears. So that's all potentially 23 playable characters with everything said. If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you and have a nice day.